Okay, here we are in our chair class. Welcome, welcome. So we've got a small but appreciative crowd today, so we are going to have some fun with our chair class. And so you've got a chair without arms on it. You can have a block or a book handy. A yoga strap or a belt is fine. And if your chair is a little bit uncomfortable, maybe a blanket, or maybe your blanket could go on the floor if you can't get your feet all the way to the floor. Or you could use a pillow. I have a big bolster, I won't bring it out, but a pillow from your couch, that would be perfect to have your feet on. And so we're going to get started. Again, if there's anything that's bothering you, any injury that you have, just be very, very mindful of that injury. If it's sharp pain, numbness, tingling, anything like that, just please don't go into that pose maybe quite as deep in that area. And if it starts to have that feeling while you're in the pose, then just back out of it. You can just come back on your chair, just release whatever we're doing, and just sit and meet up with us on the next pose. So just, you are your best teacher. So if you feel uncomfortable, even if you don't feel comfortable with the pose that we're doing, you do not have to do it, okay? I'm only here as a guide. Only here to invite you to come into the poses or the postures. So let's get started. Putting your feet solidly on the floor. And you can scoot a little bit forward in the chair if that's comfortable, or sit back. Whatever feels a solid base for you. You want to be real supported in this position. Putting your hands on your thighs. Either face down on your thighs, face up to receive, or maybe gently folded just in your lap. And then if it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, just close your eyes, or maybe a soft gaze. Maybe you have something, maybe there's a picture or maybe a candle in your room with you, and just gently gaze at that object, or gently close your eyes. Just settling into your chair, feeling all four corners, feeling the ground beneath you, beneath your feet, and just settling in, slowing your breath down as you inhale through your nose, filling up your lungs, your stomach. And then as you exhale, just releasing the air out through your mouth right now. Breathing in through your nose. Filling up your belly, extending it out. And then opening your mouth wide and then just letting it go. Have another breath through your nose. And then on exhale, opening your mouth wide, letting everything go. At any time, if this breath through your nose is uncomfortable, breathing through your mouth is perfectly fine. Yoga breath tends mostly to be through the nose. Inhale and exhale, but if you have any questions that that's not going to work for you, then whatever breath works for you is completely fine. So as we're breathing in and out, just finding that soft, natural breath, settling in again. Then on your next inhale, releasing your right hand forward, extending your fingers wide, just stretching those fingers out. have a slight bend in your elbow. Don't put any strain on your shoulder as you extend your hand out. Taking your index finger and your thumb of your left hand, gently taking the pinky finger and then just slight stretching it back as you inhale. As you exhale, release the finger, go to your ring finger, slightly back. Release and exhale, coming to your middle finger, gently bending it back a little bit, and release and exhale. Index finger, gentle stretch back. And then taking the tops of your hands, laying them on top of each other, reaching up with that left thumb and index finger, and then just gently bringing that right thumb back. Releasing, and then just circling your wrist, getting some movement in your hand. And then taking the right hand again, fingers pointed down, coming with your left hand, cupping your right hand, and then just gently doing a nice little wrist stretch. Again, slight bend in your elbow. And then on the exhale, releasing your fingers, pointing the right fingers up, bringing that left hand around, cupping them, and then just gentle stretch in the wrist. Releasing your fingers, and then again, a nice little rotation back and forth of your wrist. And then coming with the left hand, presenting that forward, stretching those fingers wide, coming with your right index finger and thumb on the pinky finger, gently stretching back towards your body, and releasing on your exhale, coming to your ring finger and the inhale, gently bringing that finger back towards you. And exhale, release your middle finger. Inhale, gentle stretch. Exhale, release. Index finger, just gently bringing it back towards you. Exhale, release. Laying your hands with the tops on top of each other, and then coming up with your right index finger and thumb, pulling that left thumb back. Then release, and then little wrist spin in circles, and then reverse. And then pointing your fingers of the left hand down, bringing that right hand around, cupping those left fingers, and then just gently stretching that wrist back again. A nice little bend in your elbow. And then release, fingers pointed up on the left hand, right hand cups around those left fingers, bending them back. Nice little stretch. And then on the release, just rotating your wrist. And then coming a little bit forward on your chair, we're going to give you some room here. We are going to do some hip rotations. So just moving, you can go either right or left, it doesn't matter. And then just doing it really very, very slowly. Just moving those hips around in a big circle. Just noticing how you feel. Notice how your hips are feeling, your lower back. And then when you're ready, just reverse the circle. And then coming back to center. And extending your arms out so they are parallel to the floor. And we're going to do some big arm circles to start out with, coming into smaller, tighter, faster. So as you come forward with your hands, just big opening with the shoulders. Just moving very, very slowly, opening up your chest, just seeing how far your range of motion is. And then as we come in a little bit tighter with our circle, maybe moving a little bit faster. A little bit faster. And then let's reverse the circle. And as we make our circle a little bit bigger, going a little bit bigger, a little bit slower, just getting some rotation in those shoulders, warming the shoulders up. And then coming down with your arms and your hands are just dangling, maybe shake them out a little bit. Just feeling some movements. Notice how you feel. We're going to come up with our cactus arms. This is for your shoulder blades, for your upper shoulder blades. And then just like you're pressing those shoulder blades together, pinching something, maybe trying to hold a ball in your shoulders. And just squeeze as you breathe in. Then on the exhale, release, letting your hands hang. Maybe wiggle your fingers a little bit. Then bring up your hands again in cactus arms, squeezing those shoulders. Remember to breathe. And releasing, letting your hands hang, shaking your fingers out a little bit. And one more time, cactus arms coming up, squeezing those shoulder blades. And then releasing, letting them hang, shaking everything out. Now what I'm going to have you do, this is a new thing. I just found this today. I thought this was a very, very good shoulder opener also. We'll start with our right hand. You're putting it behind your back. And what you're doing is you're sliding it back and forth, sort of like a little lever. Your left hand is hanging at your side. And you're just slowly in and out, just sliding that arm back. This opens up this upper area here in your shoulder, right along here. Just keeping those shoulders lubricated and open, moving the fascia. And then releasing that hand down, letting everything shake out. And then coming with your left hand, the same thing, bending behind you. And then just moving that arm back and forth, bending at the elbow. Nice soft breath here. And then release the arm down, shaking it out. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our hands, we're going to interlace our fingers, and then just pushing forward towards the opposite wall. And then as you move forward, rounding your back, coming back into the chair with your lower back, like you're arching your back. Focusing on the floor. And then on your next inhale, we're slowly, slowly Moving the hands up, trying to move them over your head if possible. This may or may not be possible for you, that's fine. And then on your next exhale, bringing the hands slowly back down, arching the back forward. And the next inhale, bringing the hands up over the head. And exhale, bringing them back down. We'll do one more round. Inhale, hands going up. Exhale, hands coming down. Arching your back, pulling your stomach in, pulling your navel into your spine. Then releasing your hands, wiggling your fingers, and then coming back to a neutral position. Straighten your chair. Now you can stay more forward on your chair, or if you feel more comfortable sitting back, we'll do some neck stretching here. Don't want to forget our neck. We did our shoulders. So just bring your chin to your chest, and then slowly on your next inhale, bringing your chin over to your right shoulder, looking over your right shoulder. And then on your exhale, bringing it all the way across, your chin coming into your chest, and then coming over to your left shoulder. Gazing over left shoulder. Then inhale, coming across your chest, looking to the right. Exhale, coming across, looking to the left. Inhale, coming across, and this time, if it's okay with your neck, just opening up, rotating your neck in a big circle. Now you may hear some cracking and popping. That's quite all right. Just move as slow as you can. And then reverse the circle. And then chin to chest. And then raising your chin up parallel to the floor. And what we're going to do next is you can either just have your hands stay on your thigh, or you can hold on to the chair, or you can just let it dangle on the left hand. And what we're going to do is we are going to bring our right hand up over our head. Nice side stretch. Now you can look forward. You can look up at your thumb, or you can look down at the floor. 3 different ways to stretch your neck. Looking at the floor for me right now is a really nice stretch. I feel that. But if that's too much for you, then just look straight ahead. Or if you want to notice something a little bit different, maybe looking up at your thumb, your right thumb. Then on your next exhale, bringing your hand down to your side, and then reaching up with your left hand over the top. Nice side body stretch. Again, neck can be looking forward, or your head can be looking forward. You can look down at the floor, or you can look up at your thumb. I'm just going to let my right hand dangle. On your next exhale, bringing that arm down. And just rotating your shoulders, shaking everything out. Now we're going to bring our left hand on our right thigh, and we're going to do a twist with our hips and our knees facing forward. We're going to take our right arm and bring it around the back of the chair. Now, this may be all you can do. You may not even be able to turn your neck. That's quite all right. But you're turning with your shoulders, not your lower back, just your shoulders. And you can move your head to the right. Your body will follow the gaze. Few breaths here. On your next exhale, releasing the twist, bringing hands back to thighs, coming to center. Just take a few breaths here. Notice how you feel. Notice your back, your spine, your shoulders. And when you're ready, putting your right hand on your left thigh, bringing this left arm around the back of the chair. Hips and knees pointed towards the front, and your gaze can be over your left shoulder. If that's too much, you can just gaze over to the left, or maybe you just stay right here with your facing forward. You can experiment with each posture and just see what feels best for you. Remember to breathe. On your next exhale, releasing out of that. Coming back to center. Maybe closing your eyes, taking a few breaths, just feeling, noticing. Maybe your lower back is a little bit more open, maybe not. Do a few more stretches with our arms. We don't want to forget our triceps. So what you want to do is take your right hand and lift it over your shoulder like you're tapping yourself on your right shoulder. And you might feel it in this area. You can take your hand, your left hand, and just gently push back right below your elbow. Again, if this is too much for you, just back off of it. Holding here for a couple of breaths. On your next exhale, releasing your left hand, bringing your right hand down, shaking it out a little bit, and then bringing your right arm across your body, hooking with your left inner elbow, and then just gentle stretch on the shoulder. On your next exhale, releasing the arms. You're shaking everything out. And when you're ready, taking your left hand, tapping your left shoulder, bringing your right hand up and gently pressing back right underneath your elbow. On your next exhale, releasing that arm down, wiggling it out, and then bringing the left arm across your body, and then coming with your right arm underneath, hooking with the underside of your inner arm, opposite your elbow, and then just pulling that across a little bit more, just to get a nice wide stretch on your shoulder, on your upper arm. And then just releasing. And then maybe wiggling your arms out, rolling your shoulders back, rolling forward. And then getting ready here for our chair and chair pose. So you want to come up to the front of the chair. Make sure your feet are solid on the ground. You can feel all four corners of each foot. Now, you can stay seated right on the chair, and then just as you take a nice deep breath in, bringing your arms up and leaning forward in the chair like you're almost ready to dive right off the chair. And you can hold your arms up like this. If this is too much for your arms, you can come into our prayer posture right here. And if you feel real sturdy and real steady and you want to come off the chair, you can lift up either arms straight ahead, over your head, or in prayer. Now your feet can be apart. Your standing clasp, the feet are together with no space between, but in this situation, let's just keep them apart, nice, solid. And then make sure your chair hasn't run away, and then move back into your chair. Bringing your hands down at your side, coming into a seated mountain posture. And then we'll come up into our chair pose another time. Again, if you're staying seated, you can have your hands at heart center. You're just bending at the waist. Arms can be up over your head, like they're shooting across the room, or you can stand in your chair. Nice, slow, deep breaths. And if you're standing, reaching back, making sure your chair is still there. Coming in, taking a nice breath in your seated mountain pose. And then one last time, again, your seated chair, either prayer, hands up overhead, or standing. This is a real powerful pose. Lots of different muscles and tendons going, firing. It's also a balancing pose. And then when you're ready on your next exhale, either sitting back down or coming back into your chair and into your seated mountain. And when you're ready, we're going to turn in our chair. I am turning to the right, but I think that it switches around in our camera. But what we're going to be doing is Warrior 1. This will be the start of our Warrior series. You're going to have one cheek on the chair and one off. Your right foot is going to be the one that's in the front. And your left foot you're going to place behind you on the floor. Now, if you're seated in the chair, it's a lot more comfortable just to have you're up on the ball of your foot. Coming into Warrior 1, you're going to extend your arms straight up. Your ears are going to be either parallel with your upper arms, or maybe, if it's possible, your arms are behind your ears. Now, if you want to come into a standing Warrior 1, your left foot or your back foot is going to be at a 45-degree angle, and your right foot is going to be, your right knee is going to be just slightly bending towards your pinky toe, arms in the air. On your next exhale, come back if you're standing into the chair. And if you're seated, just bringing that left foot forward, turning around in your chair, and then just sitting for a few breaths here in your seated mountain pose. And when you're ready, turning to the left, your left foot is forward, right foot is back. One cheek on, one cheek off, and arms are overhead. If possible, upper arms behind your ears. And if you're standing, your right foot is at a 45-degree angle. Your left knee is just gently going towards your left pinky, arms overhead. Next exhale, coming all the way down to the chair if you're standing. If you are not standing, bringing that right foot forward and then coming around, sitting in the chair, and then just sitting in your mountain pose, maybe taking a few breaths, feeling, noticing. And we're going to do some of our standing poses now. You can come around to the back of your chair. I'm going to be standing the chair here so you can see. And we're going to be doing a down dog pose using the back of the chair, extending your feet are going to be arm's length from the chair. Now you can stay right here. You can hinge at the waist and have your head go through your arms, keeping your hands on the back of the chair, or you can come down to the seat of the chair. And if you want to move out your feet a little bit longer, maybe coming, now I don't have a crossbar across the back of the chair, but if you have a crossbar, you can hold on to that. I'm going to stay right here with the seat. Hinging at the waist, making a V with your body. On your next exhale, coming back up. Release your hands from the chair, and then just come into your nice mountain pose. Now, mountain pose, feet are about fist width apart or hip width apart. Hands are at your sides, palms open to the front. The crown of your head, your neck, your spine, your sacrum or your tailbone, everything is all in alignment. Just feel solid against the floor. Thighs are active, shins are active. Shoulders back. And coming into the next pose, I'm going to start with my left foot forward. This is warrior two. So left foot is about maybe a foot away from the chair. Bringing your right foot back. Right foot is going to be between 45 and 90-degree angle to the chair. Now you can stay right like this as you lunge forward, making sure that your knee is not coming in but is turning out. And you can stay right like this with the chair. You can raise one of your arms up, or maybe both. And if you want to come deeper into the lunge, looking forward, Hips pointed forward. And then on your next exhale, you can use your chair for your left arm. This is a side angle pose. Then you would bring your right arm over your head, stretching his fingers out. You can look up at your thumb, or you can actually look just forward. If you want to come down to your thigh, if you feel strong, you can do that. Or you continue on your chair. And on your next exhale, you're taking your right hand down your right leg, bringing that left arm up over your head into your sun warrior. Now, if you need to have the chair, that's quite all right. You don't need to do the arm. And then just straightening out that left leg. And then reaching forward, you can come down to the seat of the chair, lifting that right arm up, coming into triangle pose. If you want to let go of the chair, if you want to bring your hand down to your shin, maybe you have a block. All kinds of props here with your chair, your block, or using your shin. And when you're ready, coming back out of the pose, turning towards the chair, stepping your right foot to meet the left, and just taking a few breaths in your mountain pose. And when you're ready, stepping back with your left foot, your right foot forward. Turn around. Right foot is forward. Coming into your warrior pose, your warrior two. Hand is back. Left hand is back, right hand is forward. And also hold on to the chair. And then when you're ready, bringing that arm, right arm down to the chair, down to your thigh. Extending that left arm up over your head. Again, if you're using your chair, on the next exhale, bringing that left hand down the left leg, bringing your right hand over, holding your ball, your sun, and then stretching that right leg out so it's straight, and then coming forward either to the chair, to the seat, or to your block, or your triangle pose, extending that left arm up. And you can have your chair back, your chair seat, your block, or your shin, or the floor. When you're ready, releasing yourself out of your pose, bringing that left foot to meet your right. Standing in your mountain pose. Nice, long, deep breath in. And then coming back into our chair. Oh, I'm sorry, we forgot our balancing poses. Yes, we're not quite ready to come back into our chair. Okay. So either right or left side of your chair. I'm on the right side of my chair and I'm going to be using my left foot as my standing foot. And my right foot, I'm going to be coming into tree pose. Options for tree pose. You can do a tripod with the heel of your right foot on your left ankle. That's perfectly fine. If you want to come up onto your shin with your foot, that's another option. Another option is to bring your foot up onto your thigh, or maybe crossing, coming into a lotus pose on the right side. So different options, just whatever you feel like today. Now you can just hold right to the chair. You can bring your right hand up. And if you feel really sturdy and settled, you can bring your left hand up. But always remember that that chair is there for you. Remember to breathe. These balancing postures are so important, especially as we get older. Intensifies our core area, giving us the balance that we need. On your next breath, coming all the way out of it, rotating that left leg around. And then next what we'll do is our knee posture. So you will be lifting your leg up and bending at the knee. Now you can hold right underneath your thigh. You can hold your knee, or you can let go and just extend your arm out for balance. If you want to, you can bring your arm over your head. And if you have a real sturdy foundation and you feel good, left arm can come up. Remember to breathe. Then on your next exhale, bringing that right foot down to meet the left, rotating that left leg. And then our next pose, if you have a belt or a strap, you don't even have to put a loop in it. You can just sort of loop it around your leg, coming into our dancer's pose. So bringing your right heel as close to your glute as you can, feeling all four corners of your left foot. And you can stay right here with your hand on the chair, right hand holding the strap or the belt, or you can kick out your right leg. And if you feel real strong, maybe letting go with your left hand. On your next exhale, coming all the way out of the pose, releasing the strap, rotating that left leg. And we're coming to the other side. Don't forget the other side. Coming into our tree pose where our right leg is now our standing leg. And always try to duplicate what you did on the other side. If you did the tripod on the other side, then do tripod on this side. If you did shin or your thigh, try to do that. I'm going to go down to my calf. Extend your arm up. And if you feel strong, both arms up. Breathing. Gazing at something that's not moving. Your drishti is your gaze, your focus. And then releasing out of the pose, rotating that right leg. And then coming into our knee extension pose where we're not extending our knee, we're just holding it. Lifting your leg up, bending at the knee, holding it here on your thigh, on your knee, or maybe just extending that left arm out. Or you can bring it up over your head. Focusing again on something that's not moving. Focusing your drishti. On your next exhale, coming out of the pose, rotating that leg. You're taking your strap, going around your left leg, left shin or ankle, holding it with your left hand. Right hand is on the chair. And you can kick out, moving forward, expanding your chest. And you can stay right like this, or you can have your right hand coming off the chair. And I'm glad the chair is there. Not as strong on this side. If you fall out of it, that's fine. It's called yoga practice, not yoga perfect. Just releasing out of the pose, rotating that foot out. Now we're coming back to our chair. And we will do our pigeon, seated pigeon. So if you have your block or your book, you can use that. We'll start with the right foot. You might come a little bit further out on your chair, on the edge of your chair, bringing your right foot up onto your left knee or thigh. Now, if this is too intense, you can just cross your legs and then just gently press on the inside of your right knee. That can do the same thing if this is too intense, to have your foot up on your leg. Now, if you would like an even more intense stretch, then you can take your block. I would suggest you start with the flat side. If you want this, might be a little too much. Placing your left foot on the block, right foot on your thigh. And you can stay right like this, or if you want to have a more intense posture, holding the back of the chair and hinging at the waist and just coming forward. Gazing at the floor. Long, slow, deep inhale and exhale. On your next exhale, releasing out of the pose, bringing that right foot down. If you were on a block, bringing the left foot down to the floor and just releasing the back of the chair and just sitting for a few breaths, noticing how you feel. And then coming to the left foot, putting your block underneath your right, bringing that left foot up onto your right thigh, sitting a little bit more forward on your chair. And again, this may be all that you can do, or maybe your foot is on the floor, or maybe even just crossing at the ankles and then gently pressing on the inside of your left thigh and knee. I'm going to come into with a block. And then if you take a nice long deep inhale and exhale out, you can hinge forward at the waist. Nice soft gaze at the floor in front of you. Relaxing your tongue, relaxing your jaw. Tension should be in your outer hip, left side. Just noticing those areas. On your next exhale, slowly coming out, bringing that left foot down, removing the block if you have the block, and then just sitting for a few minutes, hands on your thighs, maybe even closing your eyes, just feeling, noticing the sensations in your body. On our next pose, what we're going to do is we're going to extend the right leg out straight, keeping the left leg bent. And it's an extended seated forward fold. So you're going to come forward, hinging at the waist. And this may be about it for you. If you want to extend further, you can bring your hands down to maybe your shin. Full expression is coming all the way down to your foot. And then as you hinge through the waist, just leaning forward and letting your head go. On your next exhale, releasing out of the pose, bending your right knee, bringing your feet together, and then extending the left foot out, taking a nice deep inhale through your nose, and then lowering down, trying to duplicate what you did on the other side. If you came all the way to your foot, then do that. If you were on your shin, or maybe you were just up on your thighs, you want to flex your foot. On your next exhale, releasing out of the pose, bringing the left foot to meet the right. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to take our hands and we're going to grab the back of the chair, whether you have something to grab onto in the back or maybe it's the seat of the chair. And we're just going to separate our feet out. And then we're just going to come forward. Now, if you want to release the back of the chair and bring your hands to the floor or maybe to a block, you can do that. And then just let your head hang. Or you can just stay right like this. Or maybe even seated up. Just take a long, slow, deep breath in. Long, slow exhale. And coming out of the pose, bringing your legs together. Now, if you have a little ball, I have a little tennis ball. It's nice to do a little reflexology on your foot, getting some little points, some pressure points. Now, if you don't have a ball, you can just bring your foot up onto your leg and then just give yourself a nice little foot massage by rotating your thumbs, starting with the fatty tissue behind your toes and then just working your way down to the heel. If you have a ball, placing the ball on the floor and then rotating the ball. You can do a little circles with the ball, putting weight on that so you feel those little active pressure points. Or you can just roll the ball back and forth on your arch. Rolling around. Maybe rolling around on your heel. Back and forth. And then when you're ready, coming to the opposite side, whether you are rotating on a ball or giving yourself a little foot massage, just actively moving that foot around. This also does a nice little exercise for your entire leg. You have to maintain the movement in your leg to get the ball from moving back and forth. Don't forget your heel. And then releasing the ball. Coming into our final pose before our Shavasana, this cobbler's pose. You can use this a block for your feet. This is a nice little hip opener. Sitting towards the front of your chair, and you can put the soles of your feet together like the hands praying. Your knees are wide. If this is too much for you, you can have your feet on the floor. Although I find that a little bit more difficult. It's easier for me to put it on the block. And you can just stay right here with your hands on your knees. But if you want to grab the back of the chair and hinge forward, it's similar to our forward fold. However, it's a little bit more of an inner groin stretch because our feet are together. Long, slow, deep breath. Just slowing the body down. And when you're ready, releasing out of the pose. Bringing your feet to the floor. Now, if you want to use your blanket, your pillow, your bolster. I'm going to use it for my feet. Some people will put their blanket behind their back. If your chair will allow you to do that, gives you a little bit more cushion. And then just make yourself comfortable in the chair. Your hands can be down on your thighs or up, whatever you feel comfortable with, or you can just fold them in your lap. Take a few deep breaths together. Again, if it's not comfortable for breathing in through your nose, you can certainly breathe through your mouth, but we'll take a nice, long, deep inhale through nose or mouth. Breathing in, filling up all the space that you created for yourself today. Filling up your lungs, your heart, your stomach, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your shins, your ankles, your toes. Opening your mouth wide and then letting everything go. Nice deep inhale again. Filling up your body, that nice loving air. And on your exhale, letting everything go. Nice, long inhale. Longest inhale of the class. And opening your mouth wide and just letting everything go. As you sit in your chair, just finding your soft, natural breath. Softening the space between your eyebrows, your third eye. Releasing your tongue on the floor of your mouth. Relaxing your jaw, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your heart, your lungs, your stomach. Softening your hips, your thighs, your knees, your shins, your ankles, and your toes. Now I invite you to stay if you'd like, even after the class, to enjoy the space that you created. I'll read you from Melody Beatty's Journey to the Heart. She has a saying for each day that she has, and for June 1st, this one spoke to me today. Sometimes the specific date does not, but this one I thought was good for us today. It's called Let Your Body Lead You. The more we honor our body, the more it will help lead us. And the more it will become a natural guide helping us on our path, reflecting the desires of our heart and soul. The more we learn to trust our body, the more we'll come into harmony with our natural rhythms, the cycles and movements of our lives. Learn to open to the subtle guidance and messages your body sends to you about what it likes and what it dislikes, what it leans towards and what it leans away from. Learn to see where it's leading you. Talk to your body. Ask it what it wants, then let it show you. Respect enough to listen. The more we connect to our bodies, the more we will live connected to our hearts, our souls, and be guided by the divine. The more we practice listening to our bodies, the more naturally and easily this guidance and connection will flow. Trust the wisdom of your body, for it often reflects the wisdom of your soul. Thank you so much for joining me today for our chair class. And we will say our little namaste together before we close. So bringing your hands to heart center. You can have your eyes open, closed, or maybe gently a soft gaze. And I honor the place in you where the universe resides. I honor the place in you of truth, of light, of love, of peace. I honor the place in you that if you are in that place, and I am in that place too, we are one. And together we say, Namaste. Thank you so much, and hope to see you next week with our chair class. And certainly look on the website if you want to look for some other classes. Most of our classes are in studio and live streaming. Okay, thank you.
See you next Monday.
Yes.